Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Single Best Idea. It's on an Apple Podcast. Thank you for your interest in Single Best Idea. Subscribing to it, and out on LinkedIn and Twitter is where I'm telling you about it each and every day. Thank you to Elizabeth Economy yesterday. That was just a brilliant, brilliant interview. I put out on LinkedIn and Twitter today her important essay from Foreign Affairs magazine on China. It is blistering about the path forward for the United States, and we heard some of that. You go back, if you subscribe, you go back and you can see previous interviews if you choose. Today is interesting, and it was such a joy to always and forever bring in the gentleman from Bear Stearns. David Malpass was at Bear Stearns, head of economics with John Riding, and David Malpass wrote brilliantly. The word that I always subscribe to him is fast. Whenever he's talking about economic dynamics, he'll talk about fast, the movements that are out there. And he's gone on to great acclaim, of course, running the World Bank for a tour duty. Now he's a private citizen. And he joined us in the studio today, and he's really on fire on any number of topics. And then he started, bad-mouthing where he lives. I mean, okay, it's we all do that. Except David Malpass, he lives in Washington, and here's David Malpass on his swamp.
So Washington is a swamp. All the parts work together to make Washington bigger and more profitable. That's a risk, and the World Bank is part of that. It's headquartered and centered in Washington. One thing I learned, Tom, was how hard it is to get any other country to do the right thing. It's just as hard outside the U.S. as in the U.S. So if you take Nigeria, why is this oil-rich country so poor? They've got a huge extreme poverty rate. Why is that? Because the government takes all the profits from oil and wastes it.
David Malpass, the former president of the World Bank. I walked in this morning. Eric, who drives all of our coverage, he said to me, Tom, I got a memo they want you to say it's NVIDIA Day. And Paul and I just revolted. I mean, we had tantrums. Our lawyers were brought in. We're just not going to do it. There's Jobs Day. There's CPI Day. And then Sparta sat me down and said, you'll love saying NVIDIA Day. So we said NVIDIA Day all morning. And so you got NVIDIA coming out this afternoon. Look for that on Bloomberg Radio, on YouTube, worldwide, on Apple CarPlay with Carol and Tim. They'll have full coverage, and they'll have lots of experts on. The expert for us is the guy driving the franchise at Bloomberg Technology, Edward Ludlow, coming off his big conversation with Michael Dell. Jensen, is it Wang? Wang? Okay, see, I don't even know how to pronounce the CEO, the good CEO of NVIDIA's name. I'm sorry for that. I'll work on that for tomorrow. But the bottom line is Ludlow's connected. Besides that, he wears the shoes with the white soles. Here from Bloomberg Technology on NVIDIA, Ed Ludlow.
The simplest explanation is just to do the numbers as we have them for 2024. So NVIDIA will sell $40 billion worth of high-performance GPUs or AI accelerators this year. AMD has raised its forecast to say it will sell $4.5 billion, so 10x less. And Intel's nowhere to be seen. They might do 500 million. And that is why we define this afternoon's earnings report as the mother of all earnings, the most important stock in the planet, Goldman in February. It is the be-all and end-all of this earnings season. And it's more than 5% in weighting terms of the S&P 500. So brace for a macro event.
Ed Ludlow on NVIDIA will brace for that. I have an opinion. It's about as useless as anything else. I have an opinion. I really have no clue. I really don't understand it. Full disclosure, I'm not sure I understand the future of AI. I've got lots of people telling me AI is this, AI is that. And I'm like, well, okay. I'm waiting. I've got a good source who says, computer programming, ChatGPT. I wouldn't know if you handed it to me, but they say, it works in computer programming. It's really revolutionary. And there's a lot of believers, and we'll see with that, with all the work we're doing here on NVIDIA Day. Social announcement, you're warned. Out on live chat on YouTube now, Lisa Mateo It immediately brightens up our feed. Look for that on YouTube. Search Bloomberg Podcasts. Subscribe to Bloomberg Podcasts out on YouTube. And then it'll give you all that we do. And of course, on Bloomberg Podcasts, you'll get everything that Bloomberg's doing in economics, finance, investment, international relations, and AI. From New York's single best idea.